No, non lo picchiare, dai. Non lo picchiare.
Fatelo passare, Giordi, fallo passare, dai.
Oh!
Non ammazzi!
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Kakistocracy. I don't know if you could see that video very well, Joseph, but that was a protester, Just Stop Oil protesters, and they were blocking this man from getting to his pregnant wife. And so, as you can see, he just went, you know what, screw you guys. Either you're going to get out of my way or I'm going to run you over. And it was kind of fun to see that because it's like finally people are just having enough of stop blocking roads. I don't know how hard it is. Get on the side of a road, sure, protest but blocking roads is actually dangerous to people's health. It's one of the dumbest things that people do lately, you know?
Yeah, it's these dumb fucking Antifa fuckers who don't have jobs.
Right.
So they have time to just sit around and sit on their fat asses in the middle of fucking traffic when other people are trying to go to work. Mm-hmm. Fuck them. I hate them. I have these fuckers living across my alleyway. Dude, last week they were listening to the podcast. They opened their windows so they could listen to me talk to you about how much I don't like various races that aren't white. I'm over this shit, man. Fuck off and die. I know you're watching this. They stalk me. They showed up to a couple of... Yeah, do you remember over the summertime I was trying to get this like open mic out in the woods going? It's in the middle of fucking nowhere. So when someone shows up that's not a comedian, I know that you're an Antifa fuckhead. How fucking dare you stalk me, you motherfucker? I'm sorry, Chris. Now I'm gonna have to go off on a rant.
No, that's fine.
How fucking dare you stalk me? I'm so tired of this fucking shit. A guy as ugly as me should never be stalked. I don't understand why I get stalked all the time. Why are people so obsessed with someone who's so ugly? What the fuck's your problem? And this, I'm talking to my ex-girlfriends here because the same shit always happens when I start a new podcast where the first episode will get like 200 views. Second episode gets 7. Guess what? That's like 7 of my ex-girlfriends, dude. it's like like 5 ex-girlfriends and 2 members of Antifa that live across the fucking alleyway from me. That's our viewership, Chris.
Well, I was gonna actually. I'm glad you brought up pepper spray because I have a couple of videos that you might enjoy.
Hell yeah.
Я тебя еще раз предупреждаю, сделаешь шаг, я тебя залью перцовым баллоном.
Yeah. I like the act. Yes, there you go. Act it out, baby. I like how she did a little dramatic fall like that.
Right. Yeah.
Look how arrogant she is. The arrogance is immediately just wiped from her fucking face. I love it. Every second of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd kick her.
Well, I don't know what he did after.
Her on the ground.
But all I know is that pepper spray.
He warned her.
Yeah, he said, "Back up, or I'm gonna spray you."
I don't even give him a warning. I just pull that fucker out and just show it to him.
Yeah.
Fuck you, dude. You want to fuck with me? Come on, come and get it.
Right.
I mean, like, I won't fuck with anyone that's holding pepper spray. Something kind of funny happened last year where I was trying to cross the street from my house, and this woman, this woman almost ran me over when I was about to cross the street. And I do this all the time. I looked right into her window and I said, "Fuck you, faggot." Now, as it turns out, it was a gay guy. It was not a woman at all. And this dude freaked out on me. He fucking followed me to Del Taco and he had the pepper spray on him. And I just pulled mine out and said, "I'll fucking get you the second you get me." It's not like it mattered. And then I said, "You almost ran me over, jackass. Like, go fuck yourself. Like, eat shit and die." I'm so tired of them because they 100% provoke and start problems, and then they pretend that they do the victim routine, just like we saw in that video of the woman dramatically falling down. Where's my fainting couch? I need to fall on my fainting couch. She got shot in one eye and she was wearing glasses. That's not going to make you faint. Like, fuck off with that shit.
Right.
And you're not a victim. I mean, you listen, you were a victim. Someone victimized you in your past. You got raped or molested as a child, and I'm sorry. I really do feel bad about that.
Right.
I feel very bad about that because my parents sucked, but at least they didn't let me get raped.
Right. Yeah.
They ignored the shit out of me, but guess what? So did the rapists. So I can't really argue with their parenting style. No one raped me. It's cool. But so listen. If we ever have like a gay comic on as a guest, the first question will be who molested you?
Right.
Or if we ever have I don't know what Joe Dosh's new name is, but if we ever have Joe Dosh on, I'm gonna be like, so who molested you? Did your dad make you dress up as a girl while he masturbated or something? Like, how did you become this way?
Yeah.
Because you're not normal. There's nothing normal about what's going on in your situation, and I'm concerned for you. Honestly, I've told him this in the past. Or whenever he was Joe Dosh, I told him, I was like, I'm worried about you, man. You know, a lot of guys that transition don't come back.
Right.
And when I say they don't come back, I mean they kill themselves. Like I've been watching my stopwatch for years now, waiting for this guy to kill himself. It's just not a good situation to be in, to put yourself in.
Right. Well, I have another video for you with pepper spray, kind of loosely based on what you were talking about earlier. So let's.
Give me your phone.
Back up, man.
Why you recording me, bro?
On trick. Back up.
Oh, you said what? I'm from EC1, I know, nigga. Give me your phone,
Yeah. I love the way that he tries to like. He doesn't try the fainting routine. He tries to like act like a tough guy, like no big deal happened there.
But check, this is where it gets better. Yeah, this is. It resets your hard drive.
On the phone too. Yeah, someone just unplugged the router and plugged it back in.
One of the comments on this video was like it pepper sprayed him into being gay.
Here. Follow my voice. Follow my voice, man.
Oh, no,
Follow my voice. You're good.
And pepper sprayed all the heterosexuality out of him.
Yeah.
Perfect. One step away from you, man. Just sit down.
Oh my goodness.
Right there. There you go.
I love that they actually feel bad for him.
Well, I guess. I mean, he assaulted them, so they had every right to do it. But.
Well, yeah, we didn't see what happened before the camera came on, but I could see that you stopped in the middle of the street.
Right there, that's your card. That's your card.
The best part is I know he didn't learn a lesson from any of this.
All right, sit down. Sit down. We'll help you. Sit down, man. Just sit down.
Oh my goodness, it's great though.
He's gonna be late for his job at Steak and Shake now.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah. So we're dealing with these kind of people in LA regularly, where they're, I don't know, it's just the mental illness in this city is interesting because where I'm at, I see.
Yeah, let's go. Let's talk about this. That's what I'm saying about these Antifa fucks. If I had parents that like bought me a motherfucking condo and shit, I'd be behaving. I wouldn't be harassing strangers and following them to the fucking park and shit. I'm so tired of these fuckers because this week, this guy, they have motorcycles. Mommy and Daddy bought them a motorcycle. Mm-hmm. So the dude 3 times this week he did it. At 5:30 in the morning, he revved up the motorcycle, and I was like, man, I understand you don't like me because you think I'm a Trump supporter or whatever your fucking deluded mind thinks. But what the fuck did all the other Jews and liberals in the building do to you that you need to wake them up at 5:30 in the fucking morning? They all agree with you.
Yeah.
They all believe the same bullshit you believe. So why are you harassing them too? I live in a building where literally no one has a job. No one goes anywhere. No one does anything. So it is weird. And I would think that if you could just sit at home on welfare all day, you would just enjoy it. Maybe you'd just be watching TV, drinking beer all day. Nah, they need to go fuck with strangers. Fuck with strangers that don't have any desire to interact with them at all. I don't know. I'm all about rejecting people and rejecting their advances for friendship or whatever. I don't want to deal with you.
Right.
But that's the problem with California is that you're so right. We're surrounded by the mentally ill and none of them are employed. All of them are on welfare. All of them have all the time in the world to fuck with you all day, every day. I've had many times where people have followed me when I was walking down the street, just random drunk Mexican guy or whatever. They thought they were gonna roll me or something.
Yeah,
I don't
for
get
sure.
rolled. I've never been robbed. Like, trust me, like I don't know. Once you get close enough to me, you can see that I'm insane, and I will fucking I'll kill. I'll kill you. Like when I'm walking around with my big expensive camera, I already know what I'll say if someone tries to take it from me. I'll say I'll smash it over your fucking face before I give it to you. And
Right.
that's reality, dude. Like
Right.
I'll fucking smash it on the ground in front of you before I give it to you. You're not taking my fucking shit. That
Right.
camera is very valuable and it's very important to me. Just as an example of how I deal with the problems in California, is that as if someone comes at you being aggressive, you have to be 10 times more aggressive to them, or
Right,
you will
right.
get fucked up.
That's the rules of the streets.
And in California, there are no repercussions. You can steal
Right.
$1,000 worth of shit out of the grocery store. You can do this. You can do that. And that's what makes me laugh too, because these people will call the cops on me, and it's like cops aren't coming.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, I'm very reclusive. I don't leave my house very often. I don't even leave I don't even leave this room very often. So I don't even know what you would need to call the cops about me for, because I'm not even outside bothering anybody. Like, I'm not in the
Right.
common areas. But I'm telling you, dude, because I've had to call the cops a bunch of times. Like, for instance, one time I was driving around my neighborhood at like 2 a.m. and I saw a guy breaking into a car.
Whoa.
And then he saw me see him, and he was in a car. He just started following me in the car, and I was on the fucking phone with 911, and 911 just never picked up.
Yep.
I'm like, there's a crime happening right now. This guy's about to beat the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah, I've
What are
seen
you
that.
gonna do about this?
Yeah,
They just didn't answer the phone. Fuck it. Hey, I mean,
Whatever.
how many calls are they getting at 2 a.m?
probably very few, but they don't care. This is a state that, and it's not. Here, I have another video for you that it's not just our state. It's everywhere right now. This is I think you'll find this interesting. Kind of relates to a little bit of what you're talking about.
I don't want to be in government housing. This is Isabella Towers, an apartment complex in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's just terrible.
And it's just too small.
But you could kind of make this nice, about the size of mine back home now. Come on, we gotta learn a little gratitude. This is a heater. I would prefer this personally than living on the street.
Yeah.
It's about the same, really.
It's really about the same.
It's
'cause
nicer than like
we would have
2/3
more
of the
freedom
places
out
I've
there,
lived in,
though.
We
in
wouldn't
LA.
care if we
Right.
lost it today.
We could do
wouldn't
drugs.
care?
They're mad.
That's
we
the
can't do
only
drugs.
AC,
Exactly, yeah.
shower,
The only two things
locked door.
Yeah, we consider this still
I mean,
homeless.
I still believe. I want to live in a house.
To where I could actually go outside and do yard work.
Achieving that from this place is substantially easier
Mess.
than achieving that.
Like
from
you're gonna
the
do
streets.
yard
Not
work.
really. It's much easier to do on the streets.
It doesn't have a window factor.
But I would say this is a good transitionary point. Have a place where you can take a shower, freshen up, and then go to work, start saving money, open up a bank
They're not doing
account.
any of that.
It has a lot of potential. And then from
No.
there you can eventually have your first lash of security.
He's talking
for
to a
place that
wall,
you
dude.
actually
Yeah.
would like
That we
to
are
have.
actually,
Yeah.
actually want.
Did you get anything?
How are they so
that you could
fat
use?
when they're homeless?
You know,
How does that? Would you just dunk it? Are you talking about your toaster strudel sticks? What are you
Yeah.
talking about there? You're not talking about basketball. You're not
Yeah.
talking about sports.
well, I mean, this is a problem that people think that, oh, you just give people something and they'll figure it out. Their only issue is they don't have a home. But it's not that. I mean, I was homeless when I was a child. My mom did drugs. That's why we were homeless. We lived in a car. Like, I remember these things, and it's not. It's a behavioral problem that eventually she had to figure it out on her own. She did get help from a church organization, and then she had to clean herself up from heroin. That's the only way she got out of homelessness. But it's like you have to solve a different problem, not just the home problem. Like a lot of these people need mental institutions or drug treatment facilities where they can't leave, and they have to wean themselves off of these drugs. And I know this from I lived it as a kid, so I understand this differently, right? And I have some empathy, but not to the point where I'm stupid, like California or I guess that place in Tennessee where they just go, let's just give them stuff. It's like that never works, because that's actually keeping them at bottom, because they have to truly hit bottom to get out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then if you keep enabling them, they never hit bottom. There's people
Right.
like my dad who never hit bottom, and he just was a fuck up that stole and wasted money for fucking 65 years of his life. He was just a nothing. He didn't do anything positive for anyone.
Right.
It's all because no one. I was the only one that ever said no. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna like give you money. I'm not gonna do anything for you. And he hated me for that. I think we had no relationship. He didn't want to have anything to do with me because I wasn't malleable, I guess is what they would say. My sisters are very easily manipulated by men. Not me, but by like the men they date or people like my father. But I wanted to say you're bringing up some awesome points because people have this deluded notion that, oh, you're always one paycheck away from being homeless. No, I'm not. I have savings. I collect art. I have things that I can fucking sell when the shit hits the fan. I'm just not a loser. These people are losers. And that's the other thing about California is it's full of fucking losers.
Right.
They're all losers. And I don't have any patience for them. You also brought up a great point about the church. I hate atheists. I hate them so much because even if you don't believe in God, you can't deny the importance of the church.
Right.
The church is amazing. It fosters creativity in the arts. It's a place where they can have AA meetings for free.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. I mean, I'm not into AA because I don't like to drink, but I have friends that had their lives saved by AA. And you know what? They went to places like the Comedy Store, which is full of fucking addicts, and they went to places like the church. That's it. There's no other places to go when you think about it.
Right. And those places through you can say whatever you want about what their beliefs are, but because of that belief, they provide services to poor people. They truly believe that that's how they serve their God, right? So whatever you think about it, whatever you think about it, they're doing it out of duty and faith. And so I understand people in LA. Like I used to be more atheistic when I was younger, and then I got into that car accident with the DUI, and I turned my life around, and I realized, hey, I was being selfish, and that's really what it is. Atheism is just being selfish and thinking that you're smarter than everybody when you're really not. You don't have answers.
You're the center of the universe.
Yeah. It's like, no, you're not. No one is. We're all just here.
Can I ask for some? I'm sorry. Can I ask you for some details about your accident? Because I didn't know you got into a car accident. I just knew that you got a DUI. Like you almost died and stuff.
Yes. So I don't remember it. I was blackout drunk, but I was coming back from a horrible comedy show, and apparently I had hit the center divider, I believe, and my car caught fire.
You were drunk.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
My car was on fire, and I have a flash memory. The only thing I kind of remember is a bunch of fire was around, and I was like, oh, shit. And then luckily the cop pulled me out and saved my life. And I came to in the back of a cop car. So like I was in a bar, and then there's this weird flash memory of a fire, and then I was in the back of a cop car. That's my only memory of what happened. But the cops were really nice, and I just took my lumps, and I went, I fucked up. I did all my community service and paid all my fines, and it was a horrible experience. But I was I do joke about this a little bit, but I was kind of shocked by how comfortable I was in jail. I was like, yeah, this isn't that different than my childhood, because my mom was always in jail and my stepdad was always in jail. I was around drug dealers most of my childhood for the first 9 years of my life. So I was like, yeah, this seems normal. And there was a dude in there that like he gets in super late at night. We're all just hanging out in the main area, the common area. You just talk to everybody because you got nothing else to do, so you just talk. And he gets in there, and everyone's chill because we know our fate. We get it. This is what it is. Whatever. Let's just make the best of it, right? That's where the rest of us are at. But he gets in there and he goes, "I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Fuck all these cops. Fuck all of them." And then so we go into the cell together, and the minute the bars closed, he starts bawling. And I'm like, dude, I think I found my bitch. Cause this guy, dude, you know, like obviously he fucked up, but like I didn't cry.
The two rules in life are: don't cry in front of a woman, don't cry in jail.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
These are life lessons, dude. These are lessons that you should burn. These should be the 12th. These should be the 11th and 12th commandments.
Yeah, don't cry in front of
Thou
women.
shalt not cry in front of a woman. Thou shalt not cry in jail.
Yeah,
But that's
dude.
something else that's kind of interesting. Oh, I wanted to tell you, I think I would thrive in jail because I was like lying in bed in the dark today, and I was like, "This ain't so bad."
Yeah.
I was like, solitary confinement doesn't sound so bad to me. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
The only part that sucked is it was cold, but other than that, I was fine. You know, everyone was really
I would
nice.
I would thrive in prison, man. I love anal sex. I love to rape. I love raping people.
Allegedly,
I think
right?
I'd kill it in prison.
Yeah.
I'd love it in prison, I think.
Right. Well,
I'd show them how to make a fifi. You know what a fifi is?
Yeah, I do. Yes. Unfortunately, yes, I know.
That's
what
That's what Joe Dosh named himself after that. A fifi, for those who don't know, is a prison fleshlight. It's
Right.
it's either a sock or a rubber glove that you fill with, like, I don't know, shaving cream or something, and you fuck it like a pussy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Joe Dosh named himself after. Something you fuck like a pussy. we gotta have Fifi is what the dude's name. Fifi is the chick's name now. So we gotta have Fifi on and interview her and be like, ask her these questions. She might be one of the people that watches our podcast, actually.
Oh, maybe. Who knows?
I used to be pretty tight with Joe. I used to like Joe, and I went to see a concert together and stuff. And
Okay.
I think we went to multiple concerts together. Well, when he was a guy, he was like a guy's guy. That's the funny thing about it becoming a girl. He was really into metal. And I remember we saw this band called Lightning Bolt, who's not metal, but they're pretty heavy. And
Okay.
I always like to stand in the back and watch the show, and so I can see the crowd and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Listen, I got to go into the mosh pit." And I was like, "I know exactly why you're going into the mosh pit, you fucking pervert." You could go in there and roll around on a bunch of twinks at the Echo in Echo Park.
Oh, the Echo, is that still around?
I don't know. I haven't gone to see a concert in so long. I don't even fucking know what's going on out there.
I know.
I have no idea.
Because
I
my
just don't care anymore.
Yeah. Well, my buddy's wife used to work there, the Echo and the Echoplex and whatever the other one.
Mm-hmm.
They have 3 of them, and so I used to go for free all the time because it was just fun.
Oh, really?
It was just fun to do and hang out and just do drugs and dance, I guess, is what I used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or drink, just depending on what I felt like that night. But yeah, it was like you'd see a lot of bands. Not a lot of them were gonna go anywhere, but it was fun to see, like indie bands sometimes that are weird and interesting, and sometimes it was DJs, which was you had to be on drugs to really enjoy that half the time. But but I have another video for you if you want to watch something real quick. Ready?
Dying for it.
Go, yeah.
Can't wait.
There's no way this guy's doing. Oh no.
God damn, sure.
Right. So that was in England, I guess. This kid.
Gee, I wonder why there's no more malls anymore. I wonder why they closed all the shopping malls down. Gee,
Right.
I wonder what the demographic came along.
Well, here's the thing. I remember being young and stupid, doing stupid things, but and you don't think, right?
I wouldn't do that.
No,
I wouldn't do. I would never do anything that would hurt somebody like that. The guy is trying to hurt people, and the other dipshit is videotaping it and then putting it on the internet. This is how
Yeah.
fucking stupid these people are.
Yeah, I never understood.
Do they ever get caught? They must go to jail over this shit, right?
I believe so. Well, that one, I always try and cut the videos a little bit short so we can just roll them. But that one, they show his face, so he's probably caught. Because that's almost attempted murder. Because if that landed on anybody, they would have. Luckily, it missed everybody. There was 3 people down there that easily could have got hit, and that could have just killed somebody, But like I said, I was going to say
They have the worst aim. They have the worst aim. The reason why they don't do any school shootings is because they fucking shoot at the school and then don't hit anybody.
Right.
They could shoot up a party with 50 people and don't hit anybody except for a little kid that's in the next door neighbor's house or something like that.
Right.
I'm
right.
sorry for interrupting, but anyway.
No. You're
think
right.
that's funny.
You're right. Actually, if you look at the real stats, when they say that there's mass shootings all the time, what they're really talking about, and they don't say, is those mass shootings are gang related, but they don't say that.
Well,
so
yes.
So they make it seem
They're
like
also also the later ones, the most recent ones are all immigrants and they're trans people.
right.
So they just constantly blame white people for doing this stuff. It's like, yeah, Columbine was like 25 years ago, 26 years ago. Yeah, white people, we're pioneers, but that doesn't mean that we just keep doing it forever,
Right.
And moved on to other stuff.
And while that does happen, that's still not the majority. The majority is still gang shootings, where it's 4 or more, I believe it is considered mass shooting. Doesn't mean they die. That just means that you hit 4 or more people, and people are living more now than ever because the technology of the medicine is better. So even with gunshot wounds, we're able to save people far better than we even in the 70s. So there's more people surviving, but for sure. I do have another video real quick. I'm sure you've seen. I'm not sure if you've seen this, but this is a thing that happened this past week, and boink. Did you see that?
No, she could have been ahead or something.
Yeah, watch. Dink.
Wow. What's the point of that?
She passed her, so
Why'd she do that?
She went boop, and then that girl got a concussion, the one that she hit.
Of course she did.
Yeah, because that's a baton.
Damn, fucked up.
And so she got charged actually.
She kept running. She kept running too. That's really impressive.
Yeah. Because she tried to explain it away as it's an accident. So she has an interview.
It's like they're going off of one angle. Like
no, we're not. We just saw two, bitch.
I know what happened, but I can't.
Did you hear that?
I don't have enough. Like, they went on the news. I'm just a person by myself. Nobody's going to believe me. Because
you hear that?
I can admit, from the video, it does look purposeful, but I know my intentions, and I would never hit somebody on purpose because of jealousy. It's plenty of people. I know I'm not the best at track. I applaud her for being such a great runner. I would never hit somebody because of jealousy. And it's like...
Why does this bitch have nicer furniture than me?
Well, yeah,
Fuck
but it's in that because there's a longer form of that where she says, she's hurt, but no one's thinking about my mental. It's like, what? So she kind of in that one she made it a little bit. She was a little bit better about saying, she's trying to say it's an accident, but I've seen the other angle. Her arm goes back and then just goes bink. So obviously.
Yeah. Well, we had two angles. The first angle, I couldn't even tell what was going on. Second angle, it's very obvious what she was doing.
Right.
And I'm just so tired of this bullshit. Just fucking admit you're a fucking asshole. You're a monster. Big deal. So what? I did it the whole time in this podcast.
Yeah.
All I did was make confessions of bad stuff I've done. Big fucking deal. Everyone's bad. And I'm so tired of the fake morality that we have to endure in this country where people pretend that the cabal of child molesters I support is way more moral than the child molesters that you vote for. But they're both child molesters. Did you notice that?
Right.
I was thinking about how funny it is too that they will blame everything on the opposing
side.
No matter what, even if it's obvious that they started it out themselves, they
right.
just always say, "Well, these fucking Republicans are at it again."
Right, but it's like they both do they switch every 10 years or so, where they do the opposite of what they said they were going to do. So it's like
it's 20 years because I remember this because it's 20 years for sure. Because do you remember when Al Gore and George W. Bush? When Al Gore said that George W. Bush stole the election, 20 fucking years later, Donald Trump said that Biden stole the election. Right. It's always on a 20-year scale. And it's the same with fashion. It's the same with anything. In the 70s, even during the grunge days, people were wearing bell bottoms. They were wearing bell bottoms with the flannel. And now it's 30 years later. I see kids wearing flannel all the time. Now they're just wearing the grunge shit from the 90s. And then nothing happened since 2000. So nothing interesting happened since 2000. So we're just recycling through all these old fashioned trends again. But I find that shit really fascinating. I find it really interesting that history repeats itself endlessly, constantly.
Endlessly.
It never stops repeating itself.
Right.
And they like certain groups of people just go back and forth on different sides of the fence. The Elon Musk stuff is really interesting in particular because every motherfucker in my building owns one of these hybrid cars, and most of them used to have Teslas. So they made this guy a fucking billionaire, and now they hate his guts for some reason. Why'd you give him money? I never give money to people I don't like or agree with. What are you doing?
Me neither.
You wanted that status symbol. Wait, listen to this though. They wanted that status symbol of having the hybrid car, and now they want the new status symbol, which is not being a Nazi. Well, I got news for you. You don't get to have it both ways. It just doesn't work like that.
Right.
And that's something else I really love is that these people that live in my building they're abusive, but they think they're nice people because they drive a hybrid. Well, I think you're a retard. Don't you like going on road trips? You like just living in the same neighborhood? Because there's no fucking Chargers outside of California, idiot. And there's barely any in California.
Right.
There's people that have, like, there's a Del Taco near where I live. People have to park in front of the Del Taco to charge up their car. I mean, give me a fucking break. Oh, and by the way, this is something else that's funny. I love liberals, actually, because they're really funny to watch. Because all these EV charging stations, guess who takes over the EV charging stations? The homeless. They turn it into like a little like campground for themselves. So you can't even charge up your stupid fucking car because you voted for other policies that fucked up your stupid life. Idiots. And they never learn. They never grow up. Keep thinking about this asshole Randy across the alleyway and the way he dresses. It's like, God damn it, dude. Are you still in the 10th fucking grade? Put on a fucking cardigan. Put on a suit jacket. Grow the fuck up. Walking around with fucking band t-shirts every day. Grow up. Get a life. Wearing those stupid fucking newsboy caps, which are very popular among the Antifa crowd. I do not understand why. Just go bald gracefully, you faggot. Why can't you just go bald gracefully? I hate guys that just accept it. Look, I'm accepting it. I'm bald. Big fucking deal. Big deal. Big fucking deal. I had like 30 amazing hair years where I had awesome hair and looked like Kurt Cobain or something, and now it's over. That's why I grew a beard. Now, hey, Kurt Cobain couldn't grow a beard, so fuck him. That's one thing I could do that you can't, Kurt. But anyways, what was my point? Oh, yeah. What was my point? What the fuck were we talking about? Oh, yeah, the newsboy cap thing. These dudes, they all think the reason why they act the way they do is they think they're morally superior. Right. They believe that their morality is better. So with me, they just assume that I'm a racist asshole. They don't know. They looked at my Twitter and they don't understand that jokes are just supposed to be jokes.
Right.
And they got offended by it. But you're not any better than me. You're just the same. You're just as bad. Stuff like that shit with the revving the motorcycle. Grow the fuck up, man. Like, why does everyone that lives around you have to tolerate you? Why do we have to hear you? Why do I have to fucking see you? You're ugly. Your newsboy cap makes you look like a faggot. Your wife is ugly. Your baby will be ugly. Everything about you sucks.
Right.
I hate you, and you make me look at you every day. This is why I really hate the Antifa people, because they're ugly and they're always on the fucking news. They're always on TV. Get out of my fucking face with this shit. And man, it's true. I lived through grunge. I already saw this. I saw this, and I saw where it ended. It didn't end anywhere good. All the grunge guys except Eddie Vedder killed themselves. So maybe you should start dressing like an adult. Maybe that would help. I mean, do you think Eddie Vedder is still running around wearing cargo shorts now in his 50s? Probably not. Probably not doing that anymore, buddy.
No.
Grow up.
I do have a video that might make you happy. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, please.
A suspected child predator runs from police, but he doesn't get far. Officers were tipped off that the man was planning to meet a teenage boy outside of the Glendale Galleria, but that meeting was part of a sting orchestrated by a private group. The arrest was one of several takedowns coordinated by People versus Preds, who lure alleged sexual predators into meeting their underage victims only to turn the tables.
So that always makes me happy. Great camera work, by the way. just to follow that guy. That was nice.
Dude,
footage.
he was hauling ass.
Yeah.
He was hauling ass. Damn, looking for them teenage boys. Hey man, why don't you just do something normal like become a high school basketball coach? Then you can molest all the kids you want.
Well, work at Penn State.
Why do you have to be such a weirdo? Yeah, why you be such a weirdo? You have to meet him off the internet. Go mentor.
Right.
Go mentor someone or volunteer at the church and molest some kids there.
Right. Like, that's what the Catholics used to do.
I always have no. Well, the Catholics, we need to talk about that because the Catholic Church was always a place where gay people hid.
Oh, okay. That's what.
All the nuns. I might have talked to you about this before. It's an obsession of mine. All the nuns were lesbians. All the priests were gay. It was really obvious too. Like I always like. When I was growing up, I always would hear the old little biddies at church go, "Why is Father Hall not married? Why become a priest when you're so handsome?" Well, it's because he goes to New Orleans every fucking Saturday night and gets butt fucked by other handsome men. That's why Father Hall didn't get married. He's a fag. He's a fag. Where's our Tony Soprano soundbite?
Oh, hold on, I got it. Shoot.
We should have used it like 3 times already there in the podcast.
There we go.
Yes. You know, that's, by the way, my favorite storyline in The Sopranos, and it's the one that everyone hates, is when Vito is outed
gay.
as a gay guy, and then I love it. I love the fact that David Chase, they paid him so much money to have like 5 extra episodes, and he spent that time with Vito being a homosexual, just having a nice life in Connecticut. It's really fucking funny that they did that. But also, I love that it's the only time in the series where they're forced to actually engage with the modern world and acknowledge the fact that their tough guy routine doesn't mean anything anymore.
Right.
That's it. Like, there's no hiding. You're not masculine. There's no hiding from gay people or minorities. They exist.
Yeah. I gotta find
there.
the drop. I'll get the drop because the Vito goes, "It's a joke," when he gets caught.
Yeah.
That's a good one, but I can't. I don't know.
The faggot king here.
But it was a good episode. It was one of those ones where you're right. It was the only. Well, no, they had a couple of times where the modern world got into the show, like the Columbus episode. It wasn't often, but it was every now and again. There'd be like kind of modern things would find their way in. But that show, and then there was Deadwood, was great. And then what was Boardwalk Empire? Did you ever watch that one?
I did. I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah. There's just something about like crime dramas that I'm fascinated with. I was telling you before this that I've been addicted to these serial killer documentaries just because I'm fascinated by like what's the connection. I even watched the one about the guy that did the actual the Mindhunter guy, the FBI agent.
Dude, you could have been the serial killer, dude. A
What?
lot of their moms were on drugs. I said you could have been a serial killer. A lot of their moms were on drugs and doing all kinds of crazy shit.
But I never got
I don't know.
abused. So
Well, that's the thing. You didn't have to watch your mom fuck other guys and stuff, which is
Right.
what would happen to a lot of those serial killers. I'm not even kidding. I'm not exaggerating.
No,
a
I know,
lot of
I
them,
know.
their mom would become a prostitute and just fuck
Right.
strangers in front of their children. I don't know. That's
Well-
the point where I'd be like, you know what? Maybe I'll go find a girlfriend. Maybe I won't indulge in prostitution if I have to fuck in front of someone's kid.
Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking. Luckily, I never had to do that. My stepdad kept me in the other room, so I never had to see any of that. But it did happen, you know. So yeah, you're right. I was very. There's an edge where it could have gone bad, but luckily my mom got clean and stuff, and then she wised up and she loved me even when she was messed up. The most messed up she was, she still loved me. So it's like I look at it like a lot of those guys didn't have love. The more I watch about them, they had like they have anger towards their parents, whereas I don't have any anger at all. I understood that I had this parental figure that was extremely consumed by a substance. So it wasn't wasn't anything I did, and it was something that was just that she was dealing with. And once I figured that out, like all the difficulty of that life went away for me. So I understood, and like I don't want to talk about it in a therapy way, but I mean I figured it out in like a intellectual way, maybe. Like I understood that it's like you can't choose the life that you get, but you can choose how you decide to react to it, basically, right? So like you don't pick your parents, you don't pick your station in life, how you start, but you can pick how it affects you and what you do with that. And so I just became a comedian, which who knows if that's better or not? I don't know. But I've been able to find a career.
You're a serial killer, dude.
Yeah,
you're a serial killer on stage, baby.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing a show together on Thursday.
Oh yeah, maybe this will be out before.
It'll be out
this
the
should
day
be out the
before.
day before.
Yeah, so we'll be in.
Yeah, if anyone wants to drive out to Monrovia,
it's actually a great place, though. We've done this.
It's
before.
a beautiful town.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful town.
Just every time I go there, I usually do pretty well, and
that must be nice.
Well, I'm not saying like but like I have a way about me. I don't know what it is, but people like me when I go on stage. I don't know why. It's not every time, but it's most of the time I go on stage. People are like, "Oh yeah, there's just something about you that's fun," and I try to have a good time because I don't, like I said, I had a difficult life, but I try to realize I try to be grateful for the life I have now. So it's like early life kind of rough, but it led to good things in the end. So, and I try to bring that attitude to the stage, basically. Anyway, enough serious. I feel like I took it way too serious. So let's get to something funny.
Yeah, you're a bitch, homie. What's up? What's up? Hey, you're on the ground now. You're on the ground, man. Roll over. Roll over. You will be taken
Why do people even try to fist fight the cops? I never understand this. Whatever, like when someone comes up to me and they have a gun on them, I'm like, "Hey, what's up? Hello, sir."
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Polite. I'm very friendly. I don't understand why you would try to fight a cop. You're lucky he just tased you.
Yeah.
Because in the modern age, like if they got a mag dump on you, or they'll go to prison. If someone if George Floyd had been shot, mag dumped, nothing would have been fine. No one would have cared.
Well, it's only
this is. I mean, I don't understand the laws. I don't understand why this is, but they have to have proof that you thought you were gonna die, so you have to shoot every fucking bullet at them.
Right. Well, that's only if they have like a weapon and they're trying, or even if they don't have a weapon but they're going for your weapon, then you can. There's like rules to it. There's a cycle of a progression of I forget what the term is, but it's like if someone has this, then you can do this, and then if they go for this, if they up the stakes, then you're allowed to mag dump, but they can't just mag dump. Like it's not what people think. They can't just kill anyone they want. But if they can make it, if it's obvious that person is going for something lethal, then you can obviously respond lethally. But I have another funny video if you're willing to do this one with me. This is funny.
Stop! Wait, stop! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Okay, Mark. Wait, stop! Get on the ground! All the way down! All the way down!
He's getting into butt fucking position.
Stop! Stay on the ground! Let me out! Stop! Stop! Turn around. Get on the ground. Stay on the ground. All right, stay on the ground. Look, we're trying to help you, okay? All right, look, I'm going to tase you again if you don't comply. Just comply, we'll get you met, okay? All right? Okay? But who's in control? Us. How do I know? All right, Stop! Are you real? You're going to keep getting tased if you don't stop. We're real, okay? Okay, you're real. Okay, now let him do it. Let him.
So the background to this guy is tripping balls on mushrooms, and for some reason he's wearing a chicken suit, and he was hitting ambulances or something, like just tripping balls, and so the cops are called, and they're tasing him, and he keeps going, "Are you real?" So
Yeah, that sucks. And I think of this time where this girl sent me LSD for Valentine's Day, and it was so fucking strong. It was so fucking strong. I thought I was inside of a video game, and I took my cell phone and I threw it at the screen to try to break the screen and escape the video game. And instead, I just threw my phone out the window, and I never found it. One of my neighbors stole it.
oh man, yeah,
That's totally what it's like to live in California, baby. You're all high on drugs. You throw your phone as you do when you're high on drugs. When your neighbor steals the phone, now you're just stuck in your house high, and you can't leave, and you can't call anyone for help.
right. Yeah, because it's one of those, like I've had acid. I've done all the things like acid, mushrooms, and stuff, and acid is the weirdest one because it feels chemically. You know what I mean? Like it feels fake. Like you can tell it's a chemical and not mushrooms. Kind of there's a natural feeling. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it has a natural feel to it where you can kind of get through it. We're just going, okay, if I'm tripping, I know what's going on. All right. Well, you can talk yourself down. I think on LSD, it's a little weirder. I remember I did it on a boat when I was with Jerry and a bunch of friends. And like, yeah, it has this weird effect. It did feel like a video game. Yeah, that is a good description because everything felt digital. Like the world
like
felt
the Matrix.
Yeah, it felt like that, and but it wasn't exactly. It kind of was a little visually like that, but it was just everything just had a weird aura to it. And I remember, I had to like get away from everyone. I was like, all right, I just need to be alone on it. It was so I went to like the other side of the boat and just laid out and looked up at the sky, and I was able to like get myself. Talk myself down from like tripping out, because it's a weird experience. I don't recommend any of these things to people. I know, like I might talk about it, but it's not the best always, especially that one.
Well, first of all, I never do drugs with other people. I always do that stuff alone.
Okay.
I just think that's a better policy. I think it's a better policy because that's the only time I ever freaked out on LSD. But hey, that's all it takes is one time. How about if I was on Bourbon Street or something? I threw my phone at some guy's face or some shit. I don't know.
Whew, yeah, you'd be in handcuffs.
But yeah, LSD was the drug I always wanted to try, and it did not let me down. It was great. It was awesome. I was thinking about this time this girl brought over. This is back in Dangerfield's 3 days.
Okay.
This girl brought LSD and poppers. And so we were doing LSD and poppers in the little side room where the record player was, and we were listening to this song by Slint over, and it's a 7-inch. The song by Slint is just an instrumental, but we listened to it over and over. It's like a very mesmerizing, hypnotic song. But I remember she gave me a blowjob, and while she was blowing me, she was young, and then she would age rapidly, like at the end of Last Crusade, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and then she would turn back into a young woman again. It was the most bizarre, but also the best blowjob I've ever fucking had. I thought it was. I was like, yes, this is amazing. This is the least erotic thing that's ever happened to me. I love it.
Right. Yeah, I've never done that, but I could totally see that happening because of the way LSD operates. It like shifts things, but not everything changes. Just certain things will change, and then you're just like, wait a minute, what is happening? Like I remember seeing the walls breathe, and it was just a little bit, not everywhere, just like a portion of the wall was starting to breathe, and I was like, okay. But I guess I'd done enough like mushrooms to understand what was happening, so I didn't freak out. But it's all about like getting in the right headspace if you're gonna do those things. Because if you're in the wrong headspace, it can trip you out. Like this guy, I feel bad for him really.
I don't. Fuck him. What are you doing outside on drugs, you loser? And it looks like he pissed himself, by the way. Did you notice that down there?
Oh, right there. Yeah, for sure. He did absolutely. I mean, I've never been tased, but I hear it's very painful, and then you're like right as soon as it's over you're back to where you were, but it also resets the hard drive, kind of like a little bit like pepper spray, but it's less effective, and pepper spray is like longer lasting. But this guy, I watched this whole video. We don't have to watch it because it's kind of long. But his ex
can't. Yeah.
Yeah, his ex broke up with him, and then he took a bunch of LSD, and then he gets arrested and has to come down in a cell, which has got to be the worst come down of like ever, right? I would never want to just be coming off of LSD. Like when I was when I did go to jail for that DUI, there was a guy that was coming down off of meth, and I could see it in his eyes, and he's just
scary.
Yeah, he went, hey. He was like talking to me, and it was just like the weirdest thing in the world, and I was like, ooh, this doesn't look like a good time, you know? It looks like one of those, like you never want to be that person, you know, where you're just coming down off a drug in a jail cell, because there's no way at all that is a good time. Can I play a sketch for you real quick? You ready for one?
I don't know. Can you?
Well, no, I'm asking if you're ready, but all right, I'll just play it.
I know.
Hi, I'm Tom Michaels, and I want to invite you to my new laundromat, White's Only Laundry. We specialize in only washing your white laundry, so your linens, socks, and undershirts will look fresher than ever. By focusing just on white laundry, our prices are 25% lower than the other guys. Plus, get an extra 10% discount by singing our slogan at the register. Hope to see you soon.
That's great, and I love that it was very quick.
Hi, it's Tom again from the laundromat that's been in the news, and I really want to apologize. I definitely should have realized that the name White's Only Laundry sounds racist, is racist, and that was not my intention at all. But we've changed the name and fixed the problem. White's Only Laundry is now No Coloreds Laundry. It still gets across that we can't wash colored clothes without any of the racial connotations of whites only. Plus, to make up for our terrible mistake, come on in before Friday and you'll get yourself a free t-shirt. Just don't wash it here because it has all these colors on it.
I wish I was in that guy's UCB sketch group. Oh, no, there's more.
I'm so sorry. I feel terrible.
Fuck the rule of threes, Tom.
Obviously, changing the name only made things worse, and neither one of those are appropriate names for a laundromat or any business or anything. But I'm gonna make things right. First, for the African American community, I've installed a special side entrance so that you'll know you're definitely welcome in my laundromat. Also, I've set aside separate but equally powerful washing machines exclusively for your use in the back of the laundromat, although they still only wash white clothes. And this time, to ensure I don't upset or disrespect anyone, I'm naming it after myself. And since my sister just had a baby, everybody come on down to Uncle Tom's Laundromat. Remember, whites only, no coloreds, and blacks enter through a special side entrance.
God, talk about beating a joke to death.
Yeah, he did wring everything out of it, and the first one was the best.
Just like a laundry.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, it was one of those sketches that I forgot where I found it, but I found it. I guess it had been banned on, you know, because I don't know. It was like from 2013 when people were just trying to be funny and silly, and so I saw some people reacting to it, and it's just stupid. It's like, obviously, yeah, it's a UCB type guy, but the production value is pretty good because it feels like a real commercial. You know, like he did it well for the most part. Like
it's fine. It just doesn't. It's the same problem I have with all comedy, which is because he used the rule of threes. I know what's coming. It's not. There's no surprise. Comedy needs to be a surprise. Mm-hmm. It needs to be surprising. You need to be surprised by what I'm about to say, not that I'm going to do the obvious thing. Like, okay, white's only is funny. Coloreds is pretty funny. The third was, it's like there's no other place to go except some extreme variation of the first two jokes. which is
Yeah.
tedious. And it's like, I've seen this already. I'm so tired of comedy in general. I hate it all. Some comic died the other day or yesterday, and I wasted my entire, is it yesterday, Saturday? I wasted my entire
Yeah.
Saturday night reading through this guy's Facebook posts because they were so unfunny and so obvious. And a lot of comedians have what I call like stand-up writing, where
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of fucking stupid words that introduce the idea of the joke. I can't think of any examples off the top of my head from what I was reading, but it just feels so false. It's like, is this an
Yeah.
SCTV sketch from fucking 30 years ago or 40 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, why can't you speak in a normal dial tone, a normal dialect?
Yeah. I have like a friend who does, like, I like his comedy, but the way he describes comedy is annoying because it's like, oh, I'll do this, and then you hit the act out, and it's like, I understand what you're saying. Yes, act outs are funny, especially for people that need something visual too. I'm not against it, but it's just, to say it like that makes me feel like, oh, now it just feels formulaic instead of organic, and the whole illusion
It
of
is formulaic.
yeah, it is. Because he goes, oh, you set up, then you hit the punch, then you hit the act out, and then I do this, and then I'm like, I understand that, yes, that is technically what a lot of people do, but it's better to try and break the rules of it, or explore a different path, an avenue, a different way to do it. Or what I like to do is I like to not know what I'm going to do, what I'm going to say, and then usually I find the best stuff that way. Like my best writing is stuff that I just did in the moment, and then I record everything, and I go, okay, keep that, and then add it to the jokes, and then disregard everything else. And that's why I use open mics to bomb, because it's like, it doesn't matter, you can just bomb there, no problems. Whereas like a show, obviously I'm gonna do the better stuff, but even in a show, I want to
You'll
try.
probably see me bomb on Thursday.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll probably all bomb. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. But what I'm trying to keep the illusion that we're coming up with this on the spot. That's the illusion of stand up. It isn't, though, because all comics, it's so worked out, and it, in a way, that kind of kills the joy of it for me, because I like going up there and not knowing what I'm exactly going to say. Maybe I have a plan, but I like when people try and say stuff and then I have to respond. That's some of the most fun for me, because I like to go up there and go, all right, brain, figure something out, and then that's usually when my brain kicks into high gear, and it's that's the real rush, not the rehearsed stuff. That's almost kind of boring,
Yeah, definitely. In fact, you can almost never capture that lightning in a bottle effect from the first time you did it, and it was just a riff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I oftentimes just do one-liners, because it's very hard for me to get angry and go into a rant, because I'm not angry when I'm on stage. It's totally false. It's totally fake. I'm not angry at anything. I'm actually having the best time of my life when I'm on stage.
Right.
I did want to talk about the show on Thursday, because I want to tell you a quick story. I thought about telling this on stage, but maybe not.
Okay.
I bombed harder when I was on that show last year. I bombed harder than I have in years. And when I talk about bombing, when you talk about but people think bombing is, when from watching TV or movies, they think it's just like no one's laughing and then someone coughs in the background and that's it. No, what happens is when you really bomb, people will stare you down. They don't get up and leave. They don't cough. They don't heckle you. They just sit there and fucking stare at you. The way that Bill Hicks described it is, he said, they look like they were a dog being shown a card trick.
Right.
That's the best way to describe it, and you don't know what to fucking say. And so that last show was really interesting, because Cameron, the guy that hosts it, I saw him on the street before the show, and we were just talking, and he said that I never do political stuff here. He's like, I never do political stuff here. So I checked that in the back of my mind. I was like, well, I don't do any political stuff anyway. So I was like, well, just don't worry about that. Just do your one-liners.
Right.
And so, and sure as shit, during his opening set, he just mentioned Israel. I don't even think he said anything bad about it. He just mentioned it, and the crowd totally tightened up on him.
Yeah.
So I kept that in the back of my mind. I was like, okay, be very careful with what you say. The fucking bitch, the fucking cunt who went up before me was an Indian bitch, and her entire act was about politics. all of it. But she was pregnant. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So people were giving her pity laughs out the wazoo because you can't just. She's pregnant. You can't just say "shut up, bitch" or "fuck you." And she was vile. She's a vile cunt because she was saying a bunch of racist shit about white people, and her husband's white, and her daughter is half white. And she was making fun of her own fucking daughter for being half white. It's like, you're scum. So the
Weird.
crowd hated her, but they just couldn't unload it on her. So I went up next, and they just took it out on me. And I'm talking like, like the second before I even got on stage, they hated my guts. Like it was amazing. And this is what happens every time you truly bomb. You start bombing before you even get on stage, before you're even near the stage.
Yeah, for sure.
So Cameron's introduction was, he said that we hadn't talked in a bunch of years, and then we reconnected during the quarantine.
Oh, the quarantine?
The pandemic, yeah. The scamdemic, whatever.
Yeah.
The faux-teen. The quarantine that was faux. My father told me that he was not my real father on Father's Day. Talk about a faux pas. Okay, thanks. You might get to hear that joke on Thursday.
Nice.
So anyway, I went up there and so when he said that, I went up there and said, yeah, that's right. Me and Cameron are we're total rebels. Yeah, we were going out during the quarantine while you guys stayed indoors. No big deal. Dude, they hated me.
Right.
And then I'm talking it took 5 minutes of dead silence before I was like, we didn't really go out during the quarantine. I was just kidding. I just went to Cameron's house. I went to his apartment. We didn't really go out and do stuff. And they kind of lightened up on me after I said that. Oh, and the one thing that they did laugh at, they only laughed at one fucking thing. And I'm so puzzled by this. If someone could explain this to me, if you're like a professional comedian, if Louis C.K. could drop in and explain this to me. So they hated me for the entire set. And then I said, listen, I think I'm about to get off. And then the guy that I had sitting next to started clapping. And I said, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. I'm sitting right next to you. I'm going to be staring daggers in the back of your head for the rest of the night. Applause break. I don't know why. Why do they think that was funny and none of my jokes were funny? I don't know. But I think part of it comes from the fact that it was a real moment.
Right.
It was a real thing that happened. It's the same thing that you're saying about it's hard to capture a real moment when you do the same joke over and over again. It's not real anymore.
It isn't.
Just some old joke. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why I always try to mix it up a little bit. But yeah, usually it's you can fail just as easily. So, but I'm looking forward to Thursday. And with that, I think it's time that we end this one. So I hope everyone.
Oh, wait, stop, Chris. You didn't.
What?
Hey, stop.
What?
I was the only one who bombed, by the way. Everyone else killed.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't even want to be on that. To be honest with you, I don't even know if I want to do the show because Cameron asked me a few months ago and I said, I don't think I deserve it. I bombed so hard last time. I don't want to go back.
But it doesn't matter because
dude. It does matter because you're going to be driving like 2 hours to go eat shit in front of people that that could have been potential fans.
Well, whatever. It's just fun to get out sometimes. That's what I do it for.
Oh, can I tell? I might tell this story on Thursday too instead. Okay. But can I tell you about the absolute worst bombing I've ever experienced? Like this is brutal.
Okay.
And it's so funny. This is definitely what. And we'll quit the podcast on this. But
okay.
This is definitely this is a great metaphor for what it's like to be a comedian. Because one of the last times I was in New Orleans, I was booked on some bar show. And I had I killed so fucking hard that a girl gave me her phone number when I was getting off the stage. Like that's
nice.
A good set.
That is a good set. Yeah.
It was one of those. And then the guy that was hosting the show goes, "Yo, man, do you have 30 minutes?" And I was like, "Sure." And he goes, "Do you want to do a 30-minute headlining slot tomorrow in Covington, Louisiana?" And I was like, "Well, fuck yeah." Covington, Louisiana, by the way, is where Theo Vaughn is from.
Oh, okay.
It's the state capital. It's where all the rich people live.
Oh, okay.
Covington and Mandeville. So when I get to the show and there's 3 people there. Okay. So every shitty bar show always has like 2 to 3 people that go to every fucking week's show. They go every week and they think they're the experts on comedy. And so they were there already and they were just sitting there with me. And so during the sound check, the host just starts going after me. I was just sitting in the crowd with those three people, and he's calling me a pedophile and a faggot, and I'm like, dude, I'm the headliner. What the fuck is your problem? Like, that's what I was thinking in my mind. I was like, what's your fucking problem? I'm the fucking headliner of the show. What are you doing? But of course, he knew I was the headliner. People hate everyone who's from LA. So he started in on me before the show even fucking started. So I like a lot of times like people will do that they'll throw you under the bridge with the intro. They'll say this guy's from Los Angeles, or they'll say this guy's from LA, and I immediately go up and say I'm from Slidell, Louisiana. LA is abbreviation of Louisiana, not Los Angeles, because I have to make that clear. I'm not from this place. I'm not like these people.
Right.
So anyway, the fucking guy is just he's just going after me. So I just fucking get up and leave. And it's pretty rural. It's pretty rural where I grew up. Covington being pretty rural, even though it's where the rich people live. There's no sidewalks. So I was just walking down the highway for hours until I walked back. The show is still going. And the guy that he put up before me, I should also mention these comics were all black. There's a contingency in the black comedy world where doing a professional show is just not cool. It's not. So So that guy didn't light anybody. He didn't light a single person. So the guy who went up before me did 30 fucking minutes, which makes my headlining set meaningless. It's fucking meaningless when everyone else is doing 30 minutes, but also it wore the crowd out.
Right.
So I got on stage and I was doing some bit that was killing in LA because it was about pot. It was like a 5-minute poem about pot. And then and then at the end of it, it was just dead silent. I look out, everyone had left except those three fuckers. The three people stayed. And the only people in the room now, the host left. I think the bartender left. It was just me, those three people, and then another comic. And so I told the three people, I was like, if you would just leave, I'll just talk to the comic, and then that will be my set, and I'll take my money and go. And they would not leave. They refused to fucking leave. And like I was just standing up there just talking to myself, like the second that host comes back in, the show's over. So you should just leave.
Yeah.
And if it had just been me in that comic, it would have been a fine show. It would have been, I just would have shot the show with him and said, what a fucking waste of time this was. And usually when I bomb, I don't take the money. But this time I was like, I'm taking the money.
Yeah.
So after the show, after the host came back in, I walked up to the bar to get my money. Those fucking three people followed me. They stood there and watched me get paid. I still can't believe this shit. It's such an undignified thing to be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
And then the one comic who watched my set, he moved to LA and then promptly died of a seizure in the middle of Starbucks in Hollywood. Whoa. So yeah, he was like a hardcore alcoholic, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well.
But that's the worst set I've ever done. I mean, I can't believe I didn't quit over a set like that. And hopefully Thursday will be better. I don't know. We'll see.
I think it will be. I think you just got to have faith and just have fun. Because in the end, it doesn't matter what we do. Nobody cares.
I want to tell you something funny, too. I have to tell you this, too. This is hilarious to me. Cameron never booked a female comic again after that.
Well, they have...
There's never been a female comic on that show again.
They have a reputation for not showing up and being, they don't show up most of the time. Everyone that books them...
Female comics? Yeah.
Yeah, they know it.
Yeah, when I booked people, they would ask to be on Big Fish, and then you'd book them, and they would either not show up or they show up like fucking 3 hours late. It's like, dude, the show's over. I put the microphone away like a half hour ago. I'm just drinking now with Billy Dilly. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Now you're just ruining my hangout session with Billy.
Yeah. So
fuck you.
But that's everyone knows that, and no one says it, but it's true. It's just the professionalism isn't always there. Whatever.
They're entitled cunts. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, basically.
They didn't have to host Big Fish, so they don't know what it's like.
Right.
To actually go through the. Because trust me, like I'm talking shit right now, but of course I'm going to show up on Thursday. It's a fucking booked gig. Of course I'm going to drive out to Monrovia. It's not even up for debate.
Right. It's going to be a good time. We're going to hang at least.
Happening.
We're going to hang in person.
Shoot the shit in the car. That's something.
Yeah, but. I hope
everybody... It'll be like this podcast. It'll be like this podcast, but I'll be saying nigger way more frequently.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're on episode 4, and I've only said nigger twice. Now 3 times.
Well,
thrice.
3 times now. Yeah.
That's pretty. Third time's the charm.
Exactly. The rule of
I
three.
I thought exactly. Ha ha ha. I thought I heard. That's good. That's the one we end on. I thought I heard my neighbor open his window, so I thought I'd give him a little nugget of nigger. Here's a little nigger nugget for you to be mad about later. Oh,
Well-
he said a naughty word. Meanwhile, I've never seen a black person anywhere near your apartment, fuckface.
Right.
I actually have dated black women, so what the fuck? So
Me too.
So who the fuck do you think you are? You're the racist one. You don't even hang around black people.
Right.
Dumb
Yeah.
fuck.
Well, on that note, I hope everyone has a good weekend. I hope we have a good show on Thursday, and I hope you have a good weekend. All right. Have a good night.